Did you know that there are over 1.8 billion Muslims worldwide, all guided by the teachings of the Quran? This holy book holds a significant place in the lives of its followers, shaping their worldview and guiding their actions. Today, we'll be taking a closer look at the Quran, focusing on two of its verses, Surah 65:4 and Surah 33:21. These verses, often brought up in discussions regarding Islamic jurisprudence, have profound implications on the lives of Muslims. Surah 65:4 implies the permissibility of marriage with girls who haven't yet menstruated, while Surah 33:21 refers to Muhammad as a beautiful pattern of conduct for Muslims, a role model for Muslim men in Islam. As we dive deeper into the discussion, let's unravel the layers of these verses and their impact. Stay tuned as we venture into this critical examination of the Quran and its implications. Interpretation plays a crucial role in understanding any religious text. Let us now examine Surah 65:4 and its implications. In the realm of Islamic jurisprudence, Surah 65:4 often surfaces during discussions about the marriage and divorce of prepubescent girls. It's a verse that has been interpreted by some to suggest that marrying girls who have yet to menstruate is permissible. This interpretation, as you might expect, has instigated numerous debates and has been a point of contention for many. Another verse that frequently stirs conversation is Surah 33:21, which depicts Muhammad as an excellent example or a beautiful pattern of conduct for Muslims. This verse is often used to justify various practices in Islam by citing Muhammad's life as a model. This includes the practice of marrying young girls, as Muhammad himself did. The marriage of Aisha to Muhammad, as detailed in the hadiths, specifically those from Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim, has been a source of endless discussion and debate. These hadiths reveal that Aisha was just 6 years old at the time of her marriage to Muhammad, and the marriage was consummated when she was 9. References to Aisha playing with dolls, found in multiple hadiths, are also used to infer her age during her marriage to Muhammad, suggesting she was indeed a child. The interpretation of these subjects, including the age of marriage and the concept of adulthood, is based on a blend of Quranic verses, hadiths, and the rulings of Islamic scholars over the centuries. These interpretations and the implications surrounding them have sparked a lot of conversation and controversy. They have been subjected to various interpretations, each with its own set of implications and conclusions. These interpretations have been the subject of much debate and controversy over the years. The Quran was specifically revealed in Arabic for an Arabic-speaking audience. This sentiment is echoed throughout the text, intertwining the language of revelation with the culture and history of its recipients. Let's delve deeper into the verses that emphasize this. Surah 16, verse 36, speaks of the divine sending messengers to every nation, advocating the worship of Allah and shunning false deities. This verse underscores the universality of the divine message, yet each message is tailored to suit the language and understanding of its recipients. Next we find Surah 10, verse 47. This verse reiterates the idea of every nation having a messenger and the promise of a fair judgment on the Day of Judgment. Again, the implication is clear. Each nation receives divine guidance in a language and context they understand. Surah 36, verses 2-6, declare Muhammad as an apostle on the right path, sent to warn those whose forefathers were not warned. This positioning of Muhammad as a warner to people who had not received previous guidance sends a powerful message about the importance of context in understanding the Quran. Surah 34, verses 43 and 44, and Surah 32, verse 3, both emphasized that the people of Arabia had not received a previous warner before Muhammad. The Quran, then, was a revelation specific to them in their language, addressing their circumstances. Surah 35, verse 24, again reiterates that every nation had a warner, and Muhammad brings the truth as a bearer of good news and a warner. This verse reinforces the idea that the Quran, in its original Arabic, was a message for the Arabic-speaking people of Muhammad's time. Surah 14, verse 4 explains that messengers are sent with the language of their people to make the message clear for them. This verse is critical, as it emphasizes the integral role of language in understanding divine revelations. Finally, Surah 42, verse 7, talks about the Quran being revealed in Arabic to warn the people of Mecca and those around it. The verse underscores the cultural and linguistic specificity of the Quranic revelation. These verses further assert the importance of understanding the Quran in its original language and context. The Quran, while universal in its message, is meant for Arabs, a message in the culture and customs of the Arabic-speaking people. Now let's shift our focus to a Christian perspective on these Quranic verses. From the Christian viewpoint, the Bible and the Quran present differing perspectives on key issues. Let's delve deeper into this. In Christianity, marriage is seen as a sacred covenant between two consenting adults. The Bible, in Ephesians chapter 5, speaks of husbands loving their wives as Christ loved the church, implying a relationship of mutual respect, love, and equality. This contrasts with the Quranic verses we discussed earlier, which are often interpreted to permit marriage to prepubescent girls. Next, let's consider the role model concept. In Christianity, Jesus Christ is the ultimate role model. The Bible in 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 21 states, "To this you were called because Christ suffered for you, leaving you an example that you should follow in his steps." This stands in contrast to the Quranic verse that points to Muhammad's life as a model. The Christian perspective would argue that the life of Jesus presents a different, arguably more compassionate and peace-oriented model for behavior. Regarding the revelation of Scripture, the Bible in 2 Timothy chapter 3 verses 16 to 17 states, "All Scripture is God-breathed and is useful for teaching, rebuking, correcting and training in righteousness, so that the servant of God may be thoroughly equipped for every good work." This implies that the Christian Scripture is applicable to all, regardless of language or culture, a viewpoint differing from the Quranic perspective of revelation specifically in Arabic. Finally, regarding prophecy, Christianity believes in the concept of progressive revelation, where God progressively revealed his nature and salvation plan, culminating in the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. This differs from the Quranic perspective of Muhammad as the final prophet. The aim here is not to create a divide, but to encourage dialogue, understanding, and mutual respect between different faiths. As we dig deeper into this subject, we hope we inspire thought about the issues, whatever your faith. Before we wrap this up, we would like to hear from you. What are your thoughts on these perspectives? Do you have your own interpretation or insight to share? Feel free to let us know in the comments section below. We encourage open dialogue, respectful debate, and the sharing of diverse viewpoints. Remember, the goal is not to divide, but to foster understanding and respect for different beliefs. If you've enjoyed this critical examination of the Quran and found our content informative and engaging, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. We regularly post thought-provoking content like this, and your support helps us continue these important conversations. Thank you for taking the time to watch and participate in this discussion. As we always say, stay curious and stay informed. See you in our next video.